Now, can we make it back and perhaps find our way into a few more fights and we got a little bit more experience? Oh, that was Gwen, but I actually wanted Iggy. That should be enough to say, take you out. Or almost take you out. Maybe not. Did I take it back? Even that won't be. Yeah, I mean, Metal Late Necker is not exactly going to do all that much for our experience bar. Don't really expect to see it move at all. Was mostly wondering if, say, we were to encounter another big fiend or something of that sort, then perhaps that could be a difference maker. At least one of those Neckers was headed towards us. Oh, something did drop through here. What was that Necker? Just took a little while. Okay, yeah, I'm not thrilled about fighting you, because again, it's like, not gonna get much out of this, but if we save our weapon and armor durability by just frying you with Igni, then that might be okay. And you do drop some stuff that ultimately we may be able to flip for quick craft, or well, I should say for quick coin. I mean, we didn't necessarily need to fight this one because it didn't see us yet, but there we go. A little more straightforward this time around. The other thing is we did pick up a fair number of red mutagens recently. As I was saying, those have been hard to come by. This looks like something. Is there anything here? These stones, they just the shape. Like it's like a Stonehenge. It's not a coincidence. Except maybe it is. Okay. But yeah, we did pick up some red mutagens, so let's just double check here as to whether we can make a higher rarity one. Greater we can't do at the moment. We can make a couple of normal red mutagens. So I think that is going to be worth doing here, because that means that now we can make our first greater red mutagen. So we do finally have one of those available to us. And that means that we could, not books, we could make a point of, in our mutagen screen, putting on, say, a strong red mutagen here, because we have a 5% attack power mutagen. If we were to throw in a greater red, how strong are those? Is that basically just a stronger version? Yeah, 10% attack power, and it will get boosted by having some red mutagens, or red skills here as well. So, going from 5% attack power to plus 30? 25% additional? That's, I mean, that's the equivalent of an oil right there. That's how much we had on enhanced oil at that. So, yeah, that I think is, honestly, that's a big pickup. And now, at this stage, when we start to pick up more red mutagens, which of course has been few and far between the times when we've been able to do that, but does mean that we can finally create whatever that potion was that we've waited an eternity to create because we wanted to save up those red mutagens. Have we seen what the deal is over here yet? Not sure we've checked this place out. Have we?
This be the witchman, the freak of nature.
Well, hello to you as well. There are still soldiers here, so we can't really loot that stuff. Could perhaps pick that. And other things in here, which may or may not be decent. Mostly just hides and alcohol. That's not a huge deal. Okay. So, was there anything else? I mean, yes, but I think as soon as we're outside, things are a lot riskier when it comes to looting. Again, tempting to see if we can find a way over, but my guess is, at least at the moment, we probably can't. Maybe at one point in time we will make it in there, but that might just be a place that we never end up going. Okay, so not sure if we've seen these guys yet. Doing their push-ups and training dummies. Notably, they are doing push-ups in more or less full armor there. And that stuff is heavy. That is not easy. This guy is singing while he's doing it as well. Just showing off. Okay. Let's head back over here and speak to the quartermaster. Or no, it was the, rather, the Nilfgaardian woman. Did we even get her name?
My son, were you able to learn anything?
Unfortunately, yes.
I was.
I wish to know the truth. Be it sweet, be it painful. I wish to know.
Yeah, it's painful.
Your son is dead.
How did it happen?
Okay, so this is an interesting question. So we know this is the correct answer. However, it's not a particularly noble answer. You know, ideally, of course, a soldier, well, the perception of a soldier is that he's a noble and trustworthy and loyal servant to his kingdom. And on this occasion, well, he ran away. So that's, doesn't look great. However, he did also write that note in which he basically said, yes, I know that what I'm doing is wrong, and that was directed toward his mother. So I think that in the interest of being able to give her that letter and say, yes, he did leave, but here's what he said, I think it is best to go this route. If we say died in battle, then I feel like we're going to end up holding on to that note and never be able to give it back to her because it's going to be inconsistent with the story that we're giving her. So I think honesty wins out here.
Was caught, then hanged.
Lies.
Found him hanging next to others. Notice posted on the tree was clear.
I do not believe you. My son was no coward.
Believe what you will. Found a letter on it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Addressed to
We have
you.
the letter. So I do
Mother,
think it's best to give her the letter
this may
here.
well be the last time I write. In all my letters I have lied. Forgive me. I am no hero. Take no pleasure in killing Nordlings. This place is a nightmare. I have borne it until now. I can bear it no longer. Not long past, they ordered us to murder prisoners. Do you know what this means? To kill defenseless men. I must flee this place. Darling child. Forever. You have found him for me. Your payment. Take it.
Yeah. I think ultimately couldn't have walked away with that note in good conscience. Had to make sure that she had her son's final words. And yeah, not the news that you want to hear, but I think ultimately that was important. And so we did complete that quest and get some coins out of it, yes. And I think now we're looking at, well, what comes next for us? What is the best fit? Because I'm not sure there's anything else, at least at the moment, for us in this area. I do wonder if our main quest will ever take us in this direction, because it does seem like the impending, and I suppose you could say ongoing, Nilfgaardian invasion is, of course, one of the key things that is happening, just that hasn't directly impacted us that much. Indirectly, a lot, yes. But, we're, of course, primarily looking for Ciri, and, well, it is the Nilfgaardians who are ordering us to do that. We, haven't had too much overlap with the actual, Nilfgaardian forces other than at the very beginning when we were trying to find Yennefer. Apart from that, for the most part, they've just been people who very occasionally we check in with for side quests like this. So, in terms of level fit, it does seem like hunting down Radovid and Philippa, those are probably the next closest. I mean, well, they're lower than us, yes. But other than that, we would have to go reasonable bit higher than our level right now, and in theory, we could wait on those because they're still going to be higher than our current level, even if we do a few more side quests in between. So, I think for that reason, unless we did a treasure hunt, where's this one? Oh, this is the one that's right by Philippa as well, isn't it? I think so. Double check. And it is off to the east of Oxenfurt, by the circle-y area. Yeah, little circle here. So we did explore a bit to the southeast of Oxenfurt and went to the edge of the world here. However, we have not yet gone directly east of Oxenfurt or to the northeast of Oxenfurt, which, does this qualify as northeast? Yeah, I suppose a little bit. Here's Oxenfurt, and then, yeah, northeast, sure. So, Philippa is right here, and then the cat school gear is right there. So those are basically one and the same quests. There are still a few places that we've not yet found in this general area, so exploring the wilderness could perhaps be a good route for us to take. I feel like it might be best for us to start doing that, and then either continue going here where I'm not sure we know of anything definitively in this area, although with all these buildings and whatever the heck that is, I would expect that we'd find something in this direction. And then eventually, as we make our way further north, make our way to Philippa and Cat School Gear. One thing to bear in mind is, like we were saying a while ago, I do suspect that when it comes to the feud... Sorry, scroll through that a little too quickly there. When it comes to the feud between Philippa, Radovid, and Siggy, I don't think everyone is making it out of this one alive. And so there's perhaps reason to be very deliberate with the order in which we do these things. Because if we bring Philippa in, and Radovid is alive, then presumably Radovid will want to torture and potentially kill her. And it might be hard to stop him from doing that. I'm assuming there may be a way to make that happen, in which case probably would want to try that, but no guarantees there. Could be difficult. Whereas, if we successfully kill Radovid, as Siggy wants us to do, then suddenly this quest changes fundamentally, and I don't know what ends up happening. Is it even available to us anymore? Can we even talk to Philippa? I don't know. There's a chance that we just outright lose that opportunity. We've certainly seen that happen in the past. You guys were talking previously about how when it came to the quest with the Baron and the Baron's daughter, we did not have the opportunity to speak to her because we went with just the Baron's quest and trying to rescue his wife and didn't check in Oxenfurt beforehand. So this seems like it could potentially be one such similar situation where if we don't make a point of speaking to Philippa first, then we will just never see her again. But when we do see her, we're of course charged with capturing her. So, again, tricky, but I think this probably does still make sense to do this one first, and then this. And, yeah, so why don't we head in that general direction now? That means that we will need to fast travel, otherwise that is a very long walk. So let's go here. And, yeah, so I mean, you could make the case that we should go there first and then do the general exploration. Could go either way, really. When it comes to doing the fast travel itself, let's see where that would take us. Because if we were to say, go to the abandoned manor, and we went north from there, then it might make sense to explore this area over here first and make sure that we check out this question mark and maybe even whatever the heck this stuff is first. Whereas if we went to the Temerian Partisan hideout, which is probably closer, then it looks like that's more of a straight shot to Philippa and the Cat School Gear, in which case we probably wouldn't do much exploration in advance. So I think it is largely a matter of preference. And, maybe let's try going here first, because I think that, well, we might find there are additional things for us to do in this large, unexplored area. And especially here, I strongly suspect we'll find there's at least something over there. So let's... we're at the fast travel location already, right? So we should be able to go straight here right now. Yeah. Okay. So let's go here, but then mark on our map. this spot here, and we'll head in this general direction, yes, but I think that's a large enough area that we could find ourselves deviating a bit from the path. Wow, that is the boat that brought Radovid to Oxenford. You can see it from here. That is pretty crazy. It is that big. So, don't necessarily know what we're going to run into. We did hear some strange sounds when we were in this area previously, but we didn't really find what the source of them was, and those sound like a lot of wolves. So I'm not terribly interested in fighting them. In case you were doubting me, there's your proof. So is that. Except this one appears to have seen us, along with one of its friends. This one being the warg, and when it howls like that, does it actually bring other... Yeah, it does actually bring the whole pack. I was gonna say, we only caught 2 of them, so maybe we got off easy there. Not that these guys are fairly difficult, just that there's a lot of them, and they do try to crowd us out. But yeah, by using that call there, they did seem to legitimately summon the rest of the group, who did not seem to initially notice us. And, well, a lot of dog tallow, at the very least. So, let's continue headed in this direction. Looks like a very large tree, and one big enemy over here. Is that a Leshen? I think that is another Leshen. I was under the impression that there might have only been one of them, maybe even the entire game, but that was partially the reason why I was hesitant initially to fight it. That certainly looks like another one there, and we don't really know what level it's going to be. Okay, sure, fix some wolves there. Those sound like more wolves there, so they're not terribly interesting. The previous lesson that we fought was what, like 22? It is a guarded treasure. Okay. For a second I thought that was loot there. So, last time we fought a Leshen, actually, I don't remember what category it falls under. Is that also a relic? It might be. I'm not sure what other category would fit. Not cursed. Not a Draconid. Would arguably be an Elementa. Be kind of like an Earth Elemental thing of sorts, but that's mostly golems. And then not Necrophage. Ogroid. Where are you? There you are. So the answer is Igni, which perhaps makes some sense because you are seemingly at least partially made of wood. And then Relic Oil also makes sense. And a Dimeridium Explosive. Okay, so I think the previous lesson that we fought was level 20. And then it also summoned a powerful wolf when it got on low HP, which may or may not be a recurring theme here. So this guy could be difficult. Could be around the same... Yeah, it's exactly the same level. In fact, does, of course, make the roots. And that hurt a lot, actually. Those were, birds? Did it hit us with there? Where did you go? You are back here in the same place. That's gonna be the roots. But you are extremely low on HP. That Igni did you in, and you did, well, turn into some more roots. And we'll put you there and get Leshen Resin, which I think we might have got a Leshen Mutagen from the previous one that we fought. But I don't know about that there. Could be a useful crafting material for us. Let's take a close look as to what other things we might be able to make here, because we haven't looked here beyond the red mutagens all that recently. Oh, whoa. Look at that. Suddenly, we can make a bunch of these. What was the difference maker here? We picked up more of Nigredo. I don't know when we got that, but sure. Okay. Is that... Oh, okay. That is the limited resource for all of these, seemingly. So that's good to know that whenever we do find, say, if a shopkeeper is selling that, we could very well want to pick up a lot of it. That might even be where we picked the one up that we have right now. So, what do we think in terms of if we have to pick... Well, we have lots of options here. If we have to pick one of them, what do we most want? Taking silver splinters that permanently prevent monsters from transforming. Huh? This one... Enhanced effect. Damage ignores enemy armor. Destroys monster nests. This one... Powdered Diamorinium. Blocks magic and monsters' magic abilities. Blockade survives for a short time after the cloud dissipates. Otherwise... Fiery Explosion. Destroys monster nests. This one... sounds a little less interesting than, say, preventing people from transforming, although I don't know what the difference is between a normal enhanced moon dust and a superior moon dust would be. Does the enhanced one not make it permanent, whereas the superior moon dust does? That's, I don't know about that one. Maybe for that reason we pass on that. Or the damage? No, it doesn't have any damage listed there. And this one does. It says plus 600 silver damage, plus 10 fire damage. So, I'm leaning, at least not toward Moondust. The Diamorinium Bomb seems the most interesting. I'm assuming that it's the duration that gets increased here. Maybe that's what happens for... No, but this one's permanent. Yeah. So maybe it... Yeah, I'm guessing in that case that it must have been, what, like 30 seconds for the superior and then goes to permanent with the, or rather, 30 seconds with the enhanced and then goes to permanent once you make it superior. Something like that. But the Diamorinium Bomb sounds interesting. Let's go with that one. Concoctions, we do have one. And might this be one that we are willing to make now? Is the Catachan decoction. No, we actually fought Catachan somewhat recently. And this, I believe, is new to us in that case. We've not yet had this option to us. It's just because we picked up that mutagen. And increased critical hit chance. That sounds really good for us. Because again, we've been doing a fair bit of crit scaling. So, yeah. That sounds like offensively, that could be a great fit. In terms of oils, there's also one here. What did we need on this one that we suddenly picked up? Alchemy Paste. And it is Superior Hanged Man, which is for non-humans, so dwarves and elves, things like that. Seemingly K-Breath, which I feel like we might have been able to pick up most of these things from that area where we were with Chris, right when we were about to help the mages and alchemists escape, because we had so many good things we found there. Don't recall specifically if that's where we found these things, but wouldn't rule it out. So that's a big pickup as well. Haven't fought too many non-humans, though. Quest item, this is going to be, yeah, just the short lure. So let's perhaps just... Oh, more alchemy substances? Oh, the mutagens. Right. Let's just fold these back up. Make it easier for us to navigate in the future. And yeah, I think good thing that we double-checked there, because those are some good things, and this is presumably the loot that this guy was guarding. Oh. For a second I was going to say, it's nothing too great, except Moon. That is a relic rarity sword, which could be high rarity as well. Or, well, it is high rarity. It could be high level as well, I should say. So, level 13, it's steel. So we're actually comparing this against our axe. The damage is definitely not as good. It is mostly sign intensity. Now, unfortunately, it looks like this is not as good. It is pretty valuable, so at the very least, selling it is not a bad idea. But I think we will definitely stick with our weapon at the moment. As for whether there's anything else over here of note... I don't know. This seems like a big area that was leading up to the Leshen. And then now that we've taken out the Leshen, that's rotting flesh. Oh, thank you. Now that we've taken out the Leshen, there isn't as much, if anything, for us to get here. The exception of that, of course. So we could deviate a little bit more from the path, see if we find other things off to the sides here. Or we could go straight for quest. And if we just look at, I know, oh, not inventory. On our map, we're saying further to the east, there's this stuff here. So if we were to go basically in this direction we're currently headed, then presumably that would take us over here. And I'm intrigued, curious as to what this is. We don't know anything about it, I don't think. Yet it does appear as though there's something over here. There's some enemies here. Can't tell from which your senses what kinds, though. Bandits, okay. This looks like an area that I would have thought was too big to be a bandit encampment, or at least the structure's too permanent to be that type of thing. Get both of you? No, just one of you, unfortunately. Two that time. Just this guy. No, two remaining. You seemingly have much better armor than your friends. Doesn't stop yet. Oh, I'm getting fried, though. And yes, that was, in fact, witchcraft. Tell you what, somehow you've avoided all that. Not this time, though. Oh, you sorta got burnt, but not really. This time, though. This time it happened. How you like that witchcraft? Oh yeah, we'll try you. How's that for trying you? Empty bottle didn't really need that, but so be it. This guy here. Okay. So I don't necessarily think this was the specific area that we were looking for. I think it's further northeast. Yeah. This kind of looks like a village of sorts. It seems big enough that that could be the case. So what is the deal? There are enemies here. Or at least it seems. It's an abandoned site. Somewhere. Hold on. Where exactly? Yeah? Okay. That's kind of what I was thinking. There are enemies here at first, yes, but if we can take them out, then people will re-inhabit the place. That makes some sense. What kind of enemies are we talking about, though? We actually spotted that from a significant distance. New marker for Heddle, as well as presumably the place where we currently find ourselves. That is, the village of Heddle was once known, first and foremost, for the fine lace undergarments produced there. Little lingerie aroused such controversy, however, that the Novigrad hierarch personally forbade its production. Oh. And, whoa, what are those? A lot of... Whoa! Question mark, question mark, question mark. Get out of here. Those guys will beat us up. No problem. So that is, out of our league, it seems. And perhaps reason enough for us to head back toward Philippa. Because, yeah. Okay, at the very least, it does show up on our map now, I think. Yes, it will show up as that, well, I mean, it's a custom marker right now, but the abandoned site. We know that exists going forward. I mean, we could try going up north there or further east. There's a reasonable chance, I think, that we'll run into the same types of enemies there. So, not sure this is going to be any safer, per se. Did we save earlier? I don't know, we may have, we may not have. Just in case. Like, those are going to be the really strong ones. If we go further in this direction, is that still the case? This enemy here is a ghoul. This could be a ghoul's nest area. Oh, this is in fact another abandoned site. Okay. Okay. Where did those ghouls go? One right here. You are... Oh, also, question mark, run! Get out of here. Immediately. Again, good for scouting purposes to confirm that there is in fact stuff here. But also worth noting that we are not prepared to take it on. And there's still stuff further east. Could there be another abandoned site? Maybe. Up further north? Up here? I feel like there might have been another quest that was leading us to this spot right there. These things here, yeah, there's lots of places that seem like they could perhaps have some kind of people or abandoned sites that we need to clear out and then have people re-inhabit them. But yeah, seems as though at least for the moment that'll have to wait. Because otherwise we'll find ourselves seriously out of our league. Does mean we are approaching Philippa territory now. And what is this we hear? Those might be neckers. I think those are. Or ghouls, perhaps? Yeah, those are neckers. Definitely recognize that sound now. But, there's a bit of ground here still to cover, and the topography, suggests that, yeah, there might be more over in this direction. However, this will certainly take us over to these places here. And will it be more of the same for the custom markers, or not the custom markers, for the abandoned sites that are way out of our league and too high level for us to take on? Perhaps. But I think let's make a point of going after the main quest here. At this rate, what? Even you are? Question mark, question mark. Even the neckers will beat us up. This area, nothing is safe. So, look out, apparently. The enemies that you thought were pushovers, no, they are not. Very much are not. So, we are gonna have to keep our eyes peeled, because even those guys over there could perhaps one-shot us. Big watchtower. That, I think, is the place we're looking for. Let's just double-check. Are we in location? No. That is probably this spot here. So, I think we will want to go there eventually, yes. That is quite a leap there, Geralt. But as for right now, unless we are going to make it there just by going this route, this was mostly an attempt to cut through here. Not an attempt to explore this new location that we might have just found. You guys, assuming are still the superpowered neckers. Don't fall down there. I think we still have a little bit of ways to go before we find a place with Philippa. And I hear something that's flying, and it might be directly overhead, and it's probably strong. Where is it? Yup, it is directly overhead. Confirmed. It is probably about to start fighting us. I am curious. I mean, based on the level of other things in this area, it is likely that this thing will beat us up. Are there more than one of you? Yes, there are. Can we get you down here? You seem to not care about us at all. Maybe now we got this one's attention. This one's? Hello. That also had question mark, question mark. And yes, that we should have seen coming. For sure. You are also harder to escape from. Because you are rather quick, comparatively speaking. You can also fly, which does make it difficult to avoid you. So, tons and tons of strong enemies here. And now I think we are getting, pretty close to the place we are actually looking for. So Philippa is theoretically in the middle of this set of ruins here. The Witcher School gear we're looking for is just on the perimeter. Controller was vibrating for a second there. And yes, there are definitely things for us to do here. Est Tailleur. Yeah, we did hear that the Witcher School here was at the Est Tailleur ruins. Oh! Down there. Yeah, there's the marker.
Might want to look around some.
Definitely. Did see witch hunters. Those are, in theory, the people who we are trying to help get Philippa. Now, like, that chest with the diagram in it. Is it actually down in that area there, where I'm assuming Philippa is probably hanging out? Or is it on this elevated section here? I'm not sure. Like, basically, we have to go down there to find it? Or is it still up here? I feel like there's a pretty good chance it's down there. But let's scout out this area a little bit more. See what else there is to find. We'll probably end up talking to the witch hunters. Yes. Anything... other side of the ruins here? This is technically the official pathway, it would seem. Oh, and here we get, okay, fast travel location ports. That's useful as well. Especially if that means that we don't need to walk past all those extremely powerful enemies every time we want to go here. That would be perhaps a nice way to avoid them. At least until we are far more powerful. Can we do anything up here? I don't think so. Alright, let's just head in. Presumably the witch hunters will like to speak to us. Just take the thorns from this corpse over here and say hello? Maybe? Maybe you don't care? Maybe we just go straight to talking to Philippa? See the leader? Looks like it's probably you. Yeah, did Philippa do that? Kinda seems like she might have done that kind of thing.
Nothing fucking but. One ploughing trouble after the other.
What's it to you? Who are you?
Not sure this is gonna make a huge difference, but sure, Witcher.
Geralt of Rivia. Witcher. Radovid sent me.
No, it's you. Been waiting for you.
Okay. Surprised that you didn't react at all when we said we're Witcher, but okay. Yeah, you don't exactly sound enthused, but what have you learned thus far?
Word was you hadn't been able to get inside.
Till yesterday, when we found this.
What is that?
Doesn't look like much, but it's got power of some sort. Opens the entrance.
Okay. Give me that. Yeah, you're onto something there.
Good work. Saved me some time.
We're thrilled.
Need to Philippa Eilhart's hideout. You know, Philippa, maybe you didn't want to name it that. That does make it a little bit obvious as to what its purpose is. I mean, of course, these guys know. But anything we should know about what Philippa's been up to as of late?
What can I expect to find inside?
Everything. Anything. It's an old elven temple. The witch
okay.
Ironheart turned into a hideout.
Yeah, it's not just going to be this tiny little area.
Fell into some
Full
magic
cave complex,
trap.
likely.
Then monsters attacked him. Barely got out alive.
Any of your men still down there?
Dozen or so went in. They's all that came out. Rest are probably dead.
Okay, and what about Philippa specifically?
Think Philippa's still inside?
That we don't know. Only certain thing is she was there at some point.
Okay.
How's that?
We've been after her since Lochmuin.
Understandable, I
Poking out her eyes
suppose.
weren't enough. Radovid should have gutted her there and then.
Yeah, I
As it
mean,
is, she turned
definitely
into an
would have
owl
made
and
her
fled.
mad at
Flew
Radovid.
across Kedwin and
Probably
Redania.
could have seen that one
then
coming.
Tucked herself away here.
Now she's seeking revenge. You know, yeah, you kind of asked for it. I mean, what she did was pretty terrible. Yes, Witcher 2 spoilers, but you know, tricking everyone into
Don't count on
going to a certain place and then unleashing a dragon on them all. That you know,
You'll find something. That cutthroat.
did cause a lot of trouble.
Not on your life. He is a witch.
Okay, and I think it is probably worth us reading up on Philippa a bit here. Let's also save as well, because, like we were saying, I think this is going to be a quest that, not the time or place to be bumping into each other, buddy. I am kind of curious if we can bump them into that for being there. But, let's see what we can learn about Philippa, because, like I was saying before, I think this quest is going to have a lot of implications later on, in terms of, I mean, Philippa is a very powerful sorceress. Oh, this is not the place to be looking for her, though. Presumably, she's not that much of a monster. If she's a monster at all in your eyes, but, yeah, what with Radovid wanting her captured and presumably at some point at least dead, and then Philippa probably wanting Radovid dead, and then Siggy having a history with her, Siggy also wanting Radovid dead, and if Siggy and Philippa were to meet, then they'd probably also hate each other, so yeah, you know, there's going to be a lot of things that affect whatever we do, or this will affect a lot of the other things that we do. So Philippa Eilhart, one-time advisor to King Vesemir II, called the Just, member of the Council of Mages and later founder of the Lodge of Sorceresses. I mean, she's one of the founding members. Like her and Sheila. But, I mean, yeah, she was mostly in charge. Okay, I'll give you that. Had played a momentous part in the history of the world, as well as in Geralt's life. One could say that. There could be no denying her talent, yet neither could one claim she did not also at times demonstrate sickly ambition. Very trustworthy reports, I was going to say she's not very trustworthy, but very trustworthy reports indicated she had had a hand in King Vesemir II's death. Oh, I don't remember hearing that. And as a member of the Lodge, was implicated in the murder of two other monarchs as well. That, Demvin of Edirn and Foltest of Temeria, that we did know. Again, major Witcher 2 spoilers here, but you had your warning. For this reason, the one-time Jewel of the Court of Tredicor was now a wanted woman, the quarry of special forces from the North and Nilfgaard alike. And that's true. The Redanians right now are the ones that are most aggressively after her. But I suppose, well, when she was with the Lodge, she did assassinate, or organize the assassination of King of Temeria, and that is largely the reason why Temeria is now in shambles, which did set the stage for Nilfgaard to launch its attack. And same idea with taking out Demvin from Edirn. So yeah, she basically was the person who, more than anyone else, okay, maybe with one other person who was also working with her, was responsible for setting up the Nilfgaardian assault. So Vesemir's son and successor, Radovid V, was particularly eager to capture her. During their last encounter at Loch Muin, he had had Philippa's eyes gouged out. Yeah, that did happen. Yet she had fled, and he wanted nothing more than to stick the head of Tredicor's jewel on a spike above the city gates. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Yeah, he says he absolutely wants her back alive. However, I don't think that's going to be the case for long, even if he does get her. Thanks to her mastery of the difficult art of polymorphy, that being changing shape, Philippa had been able to evade her pursuers by transforming into an owl. Then, she'd holed up in a hideout outside Novigrad to wait out the worst. Okay, so, things we should note about Philippa is, yes, she had an extremely elaborate and devious plan that she, for the most part, successfully did carry out in The Witcher 2, and in doing so, like I said, basically, I don't want to say single-handedly, but was the key antagonist in taking down Temeria and also taking down Edirn. Yeah? So that looks fancy. There's this, yes. Oh, this I bet is going to be the place for the Witcher School here. That's not what we wanted. This is what we wanted. And then the other place is going to be where we actually find Philippa herself. Professor Sigismund Gloger's notes, and there's a diagram of feline silver sword. That could be quite good.